At dawn on April 19th, 1775, a single gunshot echoed across a quiet village. No one knows who fired it, but that sound would ignite a revolution and give birth to a nation. After the Boston Tea Party, peace was slipping away. British troops occupied Boston. Colonial anger spread like fire. Trust was gone. Compromise was over. Both sides were preparing for what felt inevitable: war. British officials believed rebellion could still be crushed. Their plan was simple: march out of Boston, seize colonial weapons, arrest rebel leaders. The target was Concord, Massachusetts, where weapons were rumored to be stored. But the colonists were watching. As British troops prepared to move, word spread through the countryside. Messengers rode through the night. Church bells rang. Drums sounded. The countryside woke up. By the time British soldiers marched out, the colonists already knew. Just before sunrise, British troops reached Lexington. Waiting for them were about 70 colonial militiamen. They were not professional soldiers. They were farmers, blacksmiths, shopkeepers. No one wanted to fight, but tension filled the air. A command was shouted. A shot was fired. In seconds, chaos erupted. When the smoke cleared, 8 colonists were dead. The British marched on. The war had begun. The British continued toward Concord, but this time the colonists were ready. Militia from nearby towns poured in. At the North Bridge, colonial forces advanced and returned fire. British soldiers fell back. For the first time, British troops were forced to retreat. The retreat turned into a nightmare. Colonial militias lined roads, forests, and stone walls. They fired, disappeared, and fired again. This wasn't traditional warfare. It was guerrilla fighting. By the time British troops reached Boston, nearly 300 were dead or wounded. The countryside was in open rebellion. These battles changed everything. They proved the colonists would fight. British troops were not invincible. Unity was possible. What began as protest had become armed resistance. There was no turning back. News spread quickly across the colonies. Men grabbed weapons. Communities mobilized. Soon, thousands surrounded Boston. The Continental Army was forming, not yet a professional force, but a determined one. Leadership was now critical. These battles weren't perfectly planned. They were chaotic, confusing, uncertain, but that's what made them powerful. Ordinary people stood their ground against the world's strongest empire. For Britain, Lexington and Concord were a warning. For the colonies, they were proof. Freedom would not be given. It would have to be fought for. The first shots had been fired. Blood was spilled. And now, the colonies needed a leader. In the next episode, we meet the man chosen to command a revolution: George Washington. Every nation has a beginning. America's began with ordinary people standing their ground.